Hello and welcome to this cultural preparation training program for international students who are studying in Canada or also in the US. My name is Stephen and I'm delighted you've chosen to invest the time to take this program. You'll be better equipped to succeed as an international student in Canada or the US. Not only will this information help you during your studies, for those of you who will be working while you're a student, the information in this program will help you to succeed in the workplace in Canada here as well. Now, a student named, we'll say, Evelyn. Evelyn raises her hand and says, "Excuse me, Doug." That's the professor's first name. And she asks if during the class that they will have the opportunity to talk about the group project that everyone is working on. Evelyn feels that there are many in the class, including herself, who are struggling to grasp the objective and to meet the deadlines of the project. The professor says, "Certainly, Evelyn, we can discuss the group project before the end of class." Now, depending upon where you are from in the world, this type of casual dialogue between or interaction between a professor and a student may be very unfamiliar, and it could cause you to feel uncomfortable to see or to be a part of. Perhaps you'd even be surprised, or even to talk about class participation. The student in this case, Evelyn, was active in the class, which is important in Canada. Being involved in the class will help you to enhance your critical thinking skills, which are key to being an effective learner and academic performer in a Canadian learning environment. And often, points are awarded for class participation. So, by making an effort to participate and to contribute during the class, you stand to gain valuable points towards your grade, which are really relatively easy to receive. If you put out the effort, you should get the points. Your active involvement will also help to ensure that you're up to date and familiar with coursework, as there will be a number of tests and assignments leading up to a higher value final exam or assignment. This is called progressive assessment here in Canada, which is what we follow. You'll also become more familiar to your professors and your fellow students, which will help you to create stronger bonds with others and to feel more included. Mamet actually noticed in the emails that they were falling behind on that part. So he wrote an overview that they can use, and he suggests this to the group. Alex says, "I'm happy to work on this collaboratively to get some more thoughts on where I should go, but if you just take over without even talking to me about it, I don't appreciate that at all. I can do it. I just wanted some input." This is what Alex's response is to Mamet going ahead and doing his own overview. Time for our recap. Individualistic cultures value self-reliance, self-promotion, the rights of individuals, and individual achievement. Again, this is generally the case, of course. There are scenarios, even in individualistic cultures, where groups are valued and acknowledged. In Canada, communication follows a low-context orientation, whereas in areas such as the Middle East, South America, and Asia, these places adhere to more of a high-context communication style. So let's look first at high-context communication cultures. In those high-context communication societies, words are only part of the process of communicating with each other. And the context can include things like the speaker's tone, the tone of their voice, their physical expressions, as well as other things like the person. Question 2. Linear, action-oriented, and value fact, logic, directness describes a low-context communication culture. I think you're probably doing quite well. Question 3. Would you be more likely to find someone who uses high-context communication in a collectivistic-based culture or an individualistic? And it is collectivistic. You are right. Canadian culture, while conflict isn't necessarily viewed as being particularly a comfortable situation, it's not something, however, that people strive to avoid. And society actually values the process of resolving disagreements through discussion and discourse. Because the belief is that this will result in better outcomes for all parties involved by trying to ignore or avoid the problem.